Please help us by clicking the like and subscribe button. Thank you, guys.
Here are Thailand's top headlines for today. Thailand slid into 8th place in a survey of 1,500 Americans on the world's safest travel destinations, but it is still in the world's top 10. Canada snagged the winning spot during the survey in the first place, followed by Iceland, Sweden, Japan, Ireland, Switzerland, South Korea, Thailand, New Zealand, and Australia. Thai PM Prayut Chan-o-cha has welcomed the ranking, according to a deputy government spokesperson. The spokeswoman said the PM sees the ranking as helpful in the wake of the recent changes and easing entry restrictions with the revised Thailand Pass. This news comes as travelers are finally flocking back to parts of Southeast Asia. In Thailand, the number of foreign visitors rose 38% in March from February, of course from a low base. The director of Chiang Mai Airport said the airport is ready for an influx of international passengers now that the country's entry requirements are eased. The Phuket airport director predicted that throughout May, an average of 27 flights per day are expected to arrive at Phuket, as confirmed by 21 airlines. The news comes as Thailand massively eased its entry requirements. No COVID-19 testing is required for vaccinated travelers, either before travel or on arrival. And unvaccinated travelers can either submit a negative PCR test result issued within 72 hours before traveling, or quarantine for 5 days in an alternative quarantine hotel. Phuket was the first to come up with a quarantine-free re-entry procedure for Thailand last year, the Sandbox on July 1st. It eventually morphed into the much-debated Thailand Pass, which still exists today but in a much diluted form. Getting rid of any pre-travel or on-arrival testing for fully vaccinated travelers is seen as a huge step towards fully reopening Thailand's battered tourist industry and its reputation as a haven for Southeast Asian tourism. Phuket officials have scrambled to find ways to revive its tourism economy. This year, they have organized 2 seafood festivals, an event with a hot air balloons at the Sarasin Bridge linking Phuket to the mainland, and these events were meant to generate income for the island's farmers and vendors. With the tourist influx expected from this month, we'll see what Phuket officials have in store next. A Phuket driver who was caught on film driving slowly and erratically braking, obstructing an ambulance that was taking a seriously injured woman to a hospital, has now presented himself to police. The driver presented himself at Phuket City Police Station during the weekend. He claims he didn't hear the ambulance because he is quote-unquote old and deaf. So far, police have only named the driver as Mr. Thamrong and have confirmed that he was driving a black BMW. Police have not confirmed Mr. Thamrong's age or why he didn't notice the ambulance lights flashing behind him with the siren blaring. The police chief confirmed, however, that Mr. Thamrong was fined 500 baht, the maximum fine for obstructing an emergency vehicle. The chief said that if a person dies because of an ambulance obstruction, the obstruction driver can be charged with manslaughter, negligence causing death, or intentionally causing the death of another person. He added that the charge would depend on the driver's behavior. Phuket Hotels Association, the nonprofit organization of hoteliers focused on promoting a positive image of Phuket, is inviting members of the public to take part in this absolutely fabulous online travel sale, an online silent auction with great prizes that will fund scholarships for talented young people in Phuket. This forms part of the Phuket Hotels Association Benefit, or PHAB FAB 2022 campaign, an important fundraising initiative which also includes Fab for Dance Fever, a charity gala dinner at Angsana Laguna Phuket on Saturday, May 28, 2022. Bidding in the online auction is open until midnight on May 28th, with prices in dream destinations all around the world. Participants can bid for spectacular 5-star stays and exciting experiences generously donated by sponsors in Dubai, Sydney, and the Maldives, as well as Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Krabi, and Koh Samui, all potentially available with big discounts for the highest bidder. In addition to hotel stays, the auction includes a range of exhilarating activities such as yacht charters, golf, tennis, surfing classes, and gym memberships.
Transferring money overseas? Sick and tired of the insane charges? Well, there's a new product to solve that problem. Try D-Money on your next international money transfer with the best rates and no added costs. Go to dmoney.com.
One floor of a condominium in the Bangsu district of Bangkok has collapsed during this weekend, killing one construction worker. 5 other people were also injured when the floor came crashing down. It's still unknown which floor in the 27-story building collapsed. However, engineers and forensic investigators are inspecting the site. The condo is located on the banks of the Chao Phraya River. Witnesses said that they saw a pickup truck leaving the construction site around midnight, carrying what they believe were 3 injured workers to Wachira Hospital nearby. Rescuers from the Protecting Foundation said earlier yesterday that they could not get into the building. This meant the rescuers were blocked from looking for anyone else who might have been trapped under the falling concrete slabs until they were given permission by the construction inspectors. Elsewhere in the region, this year's May Day may not have been so fun for Beijing residents. The country's ultra-strict so-called zero-COVID policies mean buildings and housing complexes with COVID-19 cases are on lockdown. In Beijing, parks and tourist attractions are only allowing 50% of their normal capacity. All restaurants in the capital city are only serving customers takeout with no dine-in services from Sunday to Wednesday. Visitors to many office buildings and attractions like the Great Wall must show proof of a negative COVID test taken in the previous 48 hours. The city's Universal Studios theme park said it had to be shut down temporarily. The Transport Ministry said last week that in China overall, 100 million trips are expected to be taken from Saturday to Wednesday, 60% fewer than last year. Beijing started imposing lockdowns last week, even though only 70 cases have been reported since April 20th. Out of the city's population of over 21 million people, Beijing residents are now working from home while stocking up on food and other supplies, fearful of being confined to their homes, as has happened in other cities, including China's largest city, Shanghai. Following a move by Indonesia's government to ban crude palm oil, or CPO, from being exported from the country, 2 ships were caught trying to smuggle the product to India and the United Arab Emirates. There has been a palm oil shortage in Indonesia for the past month since the Russia-Ukraine crisis has impacted the supply of vegetable oil in the country, making palm oil more expensive. The price of CPO in Indonesia spiked from 0.96 to $1.03 per liter to $1.52 per liter. Indonesian farmers have supported the CPO export ban, saying it's necessary for supply and affordability of cooking oil in the domestic market. The Indonesian president has also weighed in, saying that palm oil producers in Indonesia must first look after the locals before exporting. But the ban is now threatening food prices across the globe and placing extra pressure on already steep cooking oil prices worldwide. Palm oil is only grown in the tropics and is by far the most consumed and traded edible oil in the world. It is used to make detergents, margarine, soaps, chocolates, cakes, and cleaning products, among other things. It's estimated that when walking into a convenience store in Asia, almost 50% of the products would involve palm oil in their manufacture or are an actual ingredient. A 6-story building collapsed in China's Hunan province on Friday with 23 people inside. Rescuers managed to retrieve 5 people alive who were brought to a hospital and are now in stable condition, according to the authorities. But at least 18 more might still be trapped. The disaster happened in the city of Changsha. Meanwhile, the mayor of the city says the whereabouts of 39 more people who were around the building when it fell are being further assessed. China's President Xi Jinping demanded that the victims be rescued at all costs, according to state-run news agency Xinhua. Investigators found that the building's tenants had made structural changes to it. However, the cause of the collapse still has yet to be determined. The building had a hotel, apartments, and a movie theater. This is already China's second building collapse of the year. In January, an explosion caused by a suspected gas leak made a neighborhood committee building collapse in the city of Shangjing. At least 16 people were killed. Gas leaks and explosions in China are said to be caused by weak safety standards and corruption among officials tasked with enforcement. Some have also criticized the speed at which buildings are built in China.
Please help us by clicking the like and subscribe button. Thank you, guys.